Hey there! Welcome to the very first episode of my new tutorial series. Here's what you'll need for this build. Feel free to pause and screenshot it if you want. This episode is gonna focus on a Greek temple that you could see in one of my previous videos here on my channel. Ready? Let's jump right into building. For foundations, I'm using smooth stone blocks, but you can use any sort of blocks you want. These are not going to be visualized, so if you're lazy, this is your moment to shine. Now let's outline the base using polished granite. It's placed just one block inwards. This creates a nice place for the next block. I really thought about using the smooth variant, but I found the normal one more immersive, like less clean, maybe a little more weathered. Yeah. Time to fill the floor. I'm using regular sandstone, but honestly, all variants look the same from above. Just leave out those two rectangular gaps. They mark the corridor and the central chamber we'll work on next. Yeah. Now let's fill those gaps with polished granite. It adds kind of like contrast and breaks up the flat floor nicely. Let's mark the pillar spots now. 4 quartz blocks in the front, in the back. Yeah. Next. This layout is inspired by it's called style. Am I saying it right? I have no idea. But the thing about this temple is the columns are only at the front and the rear. Here you can see that this gives us the classic Greek temple layout. A small entrance room called pronaos, and right behind it, the main chamber, the naos or cella. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's where all the secret stuff happen. Now, stacking up the columns, 3 blocks of quartz pillars, and topping them off with a chiseled variant. Technically, the top piece is called the capital. And yeah, the columns are supposed to be circular, but this is Minecraft, so blocky it is. Honestly, they kind of look even cooler this way. Now, let's add a bit of decoration. Mangrove signs on the top part of each column. The 2 inner ones get signs on each side, while the outer ones only need 3, since the back is gonna be covered by wool anyway. Now let's place some pale oak buttons onto the tops of the columns. The pattern is the same as with the signs. If you're on an older version and don't have pale oak yet, no worries, you can skip it or swap in any button that works for you. Yeah. Here I'm stacking up cut sandstone for the connecting walls, and yep, totally used the wrong blocks at first. Fix it right after though, pretend you didn't see that, okay? Now, filling the walls using smooth sandstone, 3 blocks high all around. And then adding cut sandstone all along the top of the side walls. Now let's add some lapis blocks to outline the inner walls. They go right on top of the front, middle, and back walls, then connect one block in a wall on the sides. It kind of ends up forming this figure 8 layout. Now, let's decorate the back and front walls with mangrove fences, placing them in this sort of pattern, sticking to the corners. Let's add some more mangrove signs now, 3 on each side of both entrances, so that's 6 per entrance. This is just below that top row of cut sandstones, wrapping around front, back, and yeah, inner sides. Now, dropping in 4 stripped mangrove logs in every corner of both of the rooms. From each corner log, we're building up mangrove fences to the lapis line, and then connect them across the top. Now we're placing mangrove buttons on the sides of every lapis block. Just adding 2 mangrove buttons above the entrance signs. Now we're outlining the top of the build with smooth chords. It's placed over the columns and it goes all around the build. And this part is very important because it's like an architrave. This is like a horizontal band that's all around the temple and it's just above the columns. On the lapis blocks, place in stripped out logs, and on the inner wall, smooth sandstone. In the center of the back wall, right where we skip those logs, I'm adding mangrove trapdoors because kind of after being flipped open, it kind of looks like windows. On the same level, I'm filling in from both sides spruce planks, placing on top of the remaining lapis blocks. Then I'm adding spruce slabs on the inner side of those spruce blocks, right on the upper half of the block. It creates a smooth little like transition from the walls to where the ceiling's gonna be. Like a nice structural detail holding it all together. Just above the smooth quartz outline, let's place alternating lapis and chiseled sandstone because it makes a kind of freeze. These blocks mimic the pattern from real Greek temples, where we have something called triglyph and metope. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm not sure. Let's decorate the upper frieze. Mangrove trapdoors go over the lapis, and pale oak trapdoors over the chiseled sandstone. If you don't have pale oak yet, no worries. The sandstone, the chiseled one, works great too. Let's add some structure with stripped oak logs. First, across the inner walls, side to side. Then 2 more rows running front to back. It kind of looks like a support frame. Now let's fill the space between the logs with some spruce stairs. Yeah. Yeah. In the middle, I'm dropping in 2 spruce planks where there's gonna be a gap. It's like gonna line up with the fireplaces below later, so it's just gonna make sense structurally. Now it's getting a little tricky with the beams, so let's place some temporary blocks. And now, filling in the gaps between the logs with spruce planks, except where the fireplaces will go. Now, outlining the top of the build, some quartz stairs kind of like a stepped white trim going all the way around. After the ceiling's in place, I'm dropping a lantern on top. The space will stay empty between the ceiling and the roof, so it's smart to light it up and keep things spawn-proof. On both the front and back, I'm placing a 4x2 block of smooth sandstone right in the center, just some filler blocks to hold the painting. Later on, I'll pick the best artwork to fit the vibe. Shape out the triangle and give it some extra character. I'm using some glazed terracotta. First up, white glazed terracotta placed too wide on each side. I had to rotate them just right so the patterns light up. It's one of those blocks where the direction actually matters a lot. Then I'm filling the remaining gaps with orange glazed terracotta, which, let's be real, it looks more turquoise than orange. Together, they create this step triangle that kind of looks really funky and colorful. It's a nice bold move that makes the front like the real pediment. They used to be very colorful. So yeah. Now, laying down mud brick slabs across the terracotta, going from one side to the other. To finish off the triangle section, I'm adding a white outline using quartz slabs, just one slab lower than the mud brick roof. One slab goes on the lowest side of the mud bricks, and the other sits on the upper edge of the orange terracotta. It creates a full triangle shape with that clean white border. Yeah, the paintings from earlier. And yeah, it's classic Minecraft randomness. You just keep placing and breaking until you get the one that fits. Now let's fill the rest of the roof with mud brick slabs, but leave a gap in the middle for the smoke to come out. And of course, I'm covering the gap with mangrove trapdoors. Like, obviously, I love them. Don't forget to add some extra mud bricks below the roofline. Let's place some armor stands on the corners of the build. Now the fun part, decorating the main room. I've added two fireplaces, anvils with gold pressure plates to act like altars, and some clay pots with a little twist. Just a trick. Even though pots are taller than one block, you can still place a block on them. So I'm using golden plates, and they kind of fade through the top, which looks really cool. I've also got some item frames with redstone and gold blocks to make little wall details, and hung up red curtains. Like, I always forget what they're called in Minecraft. Banners! Yeah? Are they banners? Really? Okay, it's banners. Moving on to the front room, the Pronaos. No altar or fireplaces here, but still added some nice wall paintings. And here's another creative touch. I used hanging mangrove signs as side railings. They actually work surprisingly well as fencing, and the texture fits the whole vibe perfectly. Heading outside, now to build a little path around the temple, just so it blends more with the surrounding. I'm mixing some cracked stone, bricks, mossy cobble, that kind of overgrown weathered look. Like, hey, the temple has been here for ages. Anyway, let's place some leaves along the sides, like as bushes, just to soften things up. It's like more natural touch. Okay, let's be honest, this part's totally optional, but I'm swapping out some of the smooth and cut sandstone with some regular sandstone and stairs. Doing the same inside now, swapping a few polished blocks with regular ones. Stepping back to take in the finished temple. And just giving that little air punch. It's a classic way of saying, we are done here. Then heading down the hill. Your very own temple. Perfect for your ancient rituals, grand offerings, or, just a cows and chickens? Wait, did those chickens just disappear? Alright, time to really take it in, bye. And yeah, obviously, a cinematic flyby. The camera is moving fast, clouds drifting, sun setting like it's in a rush. The night kicks in, and those shaders go wild. The stars, nebula. How's that? How do you pronounce that? Okay, never mind. And yeah, slow things down. Let's walk through that interior, soak in the details, the lighting, the mood. Back outside, the temple stands calm, and everything just feels peaceful. Okay, temple's done. Chickens have vanished. Cows are still holding the line. Hope you enjoyed this build, maybe even got inspired to try your own version. If you did, you know the deal. A like or a sub, that always helps. But no pressure. Just don't let your cows watch this alone. Disclaimer: no chickens were harmed during the making of this video.